I don't know who this is directed to. Um, I guess the general public as it is, but I have a huge problem. Huge problem. Um, with codependency, people who have codependent problems where they cannot continue on in their life unless someone is there. It happens to men, it happens to women, it happens to both sexes. It's not something that's generalized towards anyone. It can happen to anyone. And it's a pretty crappy situation to be in where you feel like you can't survive unless someone is there. I've seen some really close people in my life suffer from it, even an incredibly close family member. I've seen it ruin their lives. Um, it may not seem so destructive at first. It might seem like it's only hurting in here. But honey, it's so much deeper than in here. It echoes throughout your life. I've seen it destroy families. I'll just use an example. It gets bad enough if you don't fix it. I know someone in particular who, if they had a child and if they couldn't find a babysitter for the nights that they had scheduled for a date with someone, hoping for Mr. Right, they would take their kid with them on these dates. Their child. To go meet a stranger that they met off the internet. That ain't cool. That ain't cool. Codependency, I mean, it's not just that. It's not what havoc it wreaks in your life. That's not just what it affects. Emotionally, it kills you, it drains you. Because you are too busy out there searching for Mr. Right when you need to be soul searching, baby. It kills me. It, yeah, that's the best way to put it. It absolutely kills me when I see people who can't love themselves for themselves. And how are you supposed to want to love someone? To try and love someone when you cannot love yourself. Learn to love yourself. I've said this before. Anyone who knows me personally knows that's one thing I preach. Don't think that you've got to have someone there to tell you all the time that you're pretty or you look good or you're doing well with your life. You decide what you're doing with your life, and if you like the way your life is going, and if you like your way or your hair that certain way. It doesn't matter what other people think at the end of the day. People come and go throughout your life. If someone hasn't told you that already, I'll be the first person to tell it to you. If you feel like I'm sounding rude, I apologize up front. I'm not trying to sound rude. I'm just being honest. If you feel like you have codependency problems, there's areas in most cities, that help you with these problems, like counseling services, stuff like that, because you need to have your self-esteem. I'm not saying, you should live every day like everyone's going to leave you and you've got to support yourself and you've got to be completely independent. No, I'm not saying that. You're going to be dependent on some things in your life no matter what. A good friend of mine explained it in the best way that I've ever heard it explained, and that's, You can't be solely independent. It's impossible in our capitalistic nation. Unfortunately, we live in a capitalistic nation if you're watching this from the United States. And you know, you've got to depend on your trash man to come on Tuesdays to pick up your trash. You've got to depend on local policemen to be doing their job. I mean, you've got to depend on certain aspects of your life. I understand that. But at the end of the day, you're the one that tucks you in now. You're the one that decides what's going on. So what's going on in your life today? Those out there who know I'm talking to them. What's going on? You finally decided to quit being codependent? Are you realizing that this is something that's going to haunt you for the rest of your life unless you get help? Go out there, get help. Get professional help. Because your friends, I'm sure you've got friends that want to help you, but they can't help you if you keep being dependent on them. I'm sure you might have a loved one, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, whatever it may be, who wants to help you. But you've got to learn how to help yourself before anyone else can help you. I don't know, codependency is a problem, especially in our nation today. So go get help. Thanks. Have a good night.